Audits of child safety practices in 6 Catholic dioceses and 2 religious orders have been published today by the Catholic Church's Child Protection Watchdog. The audit of Christian Brothers schools around the country finds that 870 allegations of clerical child abuse have been made against 325 brothers since 1975.
The 4th report of its kind. This is the largest so far by the Catholic Church's own child protection watchdog. The National Board for Safeguarding Children has sought to review files relating to abuse and produce an overview of the number of allegations and how they were addressed. Today's report covers 8 audits carried out last year. 2 of them relate to orders within the Church, the Christian Brothers and Kiltegan Fathers. 6 of them focus on dioceses around the country. Allegations relating to abuse that occurred after January 1st, 1975 fell under its scope. The reviewers found 1,140 specific allegations, the vast majority of them relating to the Christian Brothers. They concluded that the response to victims was inconsistent and often not addressed at all, and in one case they found a complete failure to react to a claim of abuse which left priests in ministry and children at risk of harm.
We wouldn't want to emphasise our pain. The great pain is the pain of those who have suffered, the children. But lessons are being learned, slowly but surely.
Among the more serious cases identified by the audits is one in the Diocese of Kerry. It says that allegations of child abuse were made against a priest who then went on to provide holiday cover after his retirement. He had abused a large number of boys in another diocese, but this information wasn't shared with the Bishop of Kerry.
It's frightening to think that the person who was abused as a 10-year-old, 50 years later, you can be so deeply and negatively affected by it. So I think we're ashamed, and the whole church is shamed by every incidence of abuse.
Senior clergymen here have said they believe that progress has been made to address the failings of the past.
Like any report, it points to positives, and it also points up a number of challenges. These challenges are found in the 6 recommendations, and they will be implemented in the course of the coming months and years.
The National Board for Safeguarding Children has meanwhile urged anyone who has suffered abuse and has not yet reported it to come forward. Paul Colgan, RTE News.
The auditors say that RTE's States of Fear investigations, broadcast in 1998, set off an avalanche of child sexual abuse complaints against Christian brothers who taught in their 105-day schools. Since then, the annual average number of complaints has increased almost 40-fold, placing overwhelming pressure on the congregation's child protection structures here.
Past aspect, I would feel, is quite shameful because of the number of allegations, the number of brothers with allegations, and obviously the number of young people, children who have been abused as a result of those allegations. I always keep the children in mind.
Between 1975 and this year, 870 allegations have been made against 325 brothers, deceased, former and living. 12 have been convicted. The audit says that initially, reporting of allegations to the Gardaí and HSE was inadequate and unsystematic. The congregation completed large-scale reporting in 2007 and 2009. However, the reviewers are satisfied that the brothers now report promptly. What do the Christian Brothers propose to do about the failure to get convictions?
If investigations are underway, that then has to follow the criminal process. We're fully supportive of that. We've cooperated always with the civil authorities.
Not always. The report says that you only began doing major reports to the civil authorities in 2007, 2008. What about the cover-ups before then?
Well, I don't accept that there were cover-ups.
The auditors praised the brothers' whistleblowing policy, but criticised their approach to informing survivors on how to access support. Criticism it also applies to the wider church.
What the church can improve upon are reaching out to adult victims of abuse who are still traumatised, as I've already said, working to manage those who have harmed children. A number of these people have not been through the court processes, so somebody has to make sure that they prevent any future abuse by those people. We have to get better at that.
Today's figures include allegations against 130 former brothers, prompting the board to warn that if such men have not been convicted, there's no requirement on the state to monitor or supervise them. Joe Little, RTE News.
Joe joins us here in studio. Joe, one area of significant improvement, one area where there's still a lot to be done.
Well, the audit says that basically that up until 2007, 2008, the reporting of allegations of abuse was patchy, and allegations even against dead priests and brothers. But now they are confident that all allegations are reported to the Gardaí and the HSE, and in the north, the PSNI and the health authorities there. The biggest problem is the backlog of legal cases by survivors of abuse, primarily of Christian brothers. In 1998, when that States of Fear documentary broke this news, a large number of survivors began to sue Christian brothers. Over 110 cases were taken to the courts. 100 or more have not been resolved. So this means that people are aging, they've gone towards their pension ages, they are still trying to sue 14, 15, 16 years later. And they have great difficulty in finding resolution. And the audit says that the Christian brothers in particular, church in general, must find a way to reach out to people. Even if they're suing the church, they must find a way to help.
Joe Little, thanks for that. And towards healing, a free and confidential counselling and support service for survivors of clerical abuse has extended the opening hours of its helpline, which is at that number there, 1800 30 34 16. Callers from the north of Ireland can contact them at 0800 0963 315. And Connect, which provides professional telephone-based counselling and support services to survivors of abuse, can be contacted. Those numbers 1800 477 477 or 00800 477 477 in Northern Ireland.
Former solicitor has been remanded on bail by Naas Circuit Court after he admitted his role in the fraud of €8.8 million. 44-year-old John Duffy, with an address at Clogheen, Monasterevin in County Kildare, has pleaded guilty to one charge of dishonestly obtaining a loan from a bank with the intention of making a gain over 6.5 years ago.
44-year-old John Duffy leaving Naas Circuit Court this